Hi guys, it's Matt here again from the Forex Coach. It is Friday the 14th of July. It's currently 5:15. I'm just doing the weekly review. We have pretty much closed out of all of our trades now for this week. We've just got one swing trade left over, which we're going to carry over into next week. But we have finished the week, and the good news is that we have finished in the green. However, there is some things to discuss and some interesting things in the market. So, to be honest, it was a very challenging week, and that's been a common theme of late in these markets. It's been quite difficult to trade them, and some of the trades that we're doing, and we're getting stopped out in certain positions for the markets to then reverse, which I've mentioned has been a common theme in the last couple of weeks. But we are slowly grinding through, and we've had now 2 positive weeks on the bounce. So we've closed about 1% up on the account, which isn't great, and at one point in the week we was up about 3%, but something to bear in mind is that this is all we need to achieve. 1% per week is a realistic expectation. Now, if anyone is trading or new to trading, they're coming into it, don't expect or challenge yourself to try and achieve more than that. So we target around about 5% return per month. Now, when you consolidate that and look at your interest, how that will grow your account over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, with compounding interest, you can see that you actually get a phenomenal return. Now, there's videos on this on the website that will explain it to you in more detail if you're not sure. But it's something just to bear in mind. Now, as I said, we were up about 600 quid, and unfortunately we had a few losing trades. Now, I actually, when we was up about 4%, we took a trade with the members on the Signal group, and it was a losing trade. Now, I actually went in double sized on that, so I actually had an additional 1% loss. So for people following the trading signal, they should have been up. If they're following it exact, they should have been up around £450, or sorry, around 2%, depending on obviously their account size. So around 2% for the signal. Unfortunately, I took one extra trade because I could afford to take that extra risk, and it didn't pay off on this occasion. So we ended up obviously just 1% down. So we're on track for the month. We're on track for our 5% still. We're obviously midway through the month now, so we have to see how the next couple of weeks pan out. But at the end of the day, you can't base a strategy or a setup or a signal on 1 week or 1 month. You need, a period of consecutive data to really get established how the performance is going to be. Now, I'm confident with the 5%. As I say, we're on track for the 5% a month on our 20k to 200k journey, which we're going to do. So it's interesting to see how it's going to play out. As I say, I'm happy with what we've banked at the moment, and we'll have to see what happens. So a couple of changes then on the Facebook page. What I'm doing now is I just haven't got the time to manage posting every single trade on there. So what I tend to do now is just a daily update. So if we've taken trades, something's happened in the day, we've had a good trade, I'm posting on there. I'm talking about winners, I'm talking about losers, and I'm talking about I'm showing days that we've lost. This particular day here, we've had a big losing day. This was the day where we took the extra risk position here, and so I'm posting everything on there. Beginning part of the week was great. We had 2 really strong days, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday morning was superb. This was midway through Wednesday. I think I was about 3% or 4% up for the account, and as I say, we ended up having a big swing on that and ended up having a losing day. But we finished today in the green again. We've banked £121 today, so all in all it puts about £200 up for the week, and we've closed out of a losing trade, which I'll talk you through, from last week. So we've taken out a bit of a losing trade from last week, which if we had held on to would have been a winning trade, but we just couldn't afford the risk. But that's just the way trading goes. Something else to announce, we've also got the online courses now available, $8.99. With that you get £119 worth of free subscription to the Signal service, where you'll get support from myself and you'll be able to follow our trades. And you can click on that, you can have a look, and you'll see all the videos. In fact, I might be able to go into it and just show you how it works. Excuse my internet, I've got 5 screens on 2 PCs currently running charts at the moment, so it does slow it down slightly. So the course is available here. Have a look at it. If you're interested in it, obviously just sign up and join it. and buy it, and this is the content. And once you've joined, you will get any additional content. So I'm constantly going to be updating this, adding content to it. So effectively it's almost like a full subscription to this. Once you've got the login details, you'll be able to log in, watch all these videos and these different lessons, and basically learn how to trade from scratch. And anything new that I add in there, then you'll just obviously get that. So live trading at the moment, I've only done 2 days. I've done Monday, Tuesday, and then just didn't have time to do any more. So that's the way I'll start doing it, Monday, Tuesday each week. And just so we've got some live trading videos where you can see things in action taking place. So that's about it from the Facebook page side of things. So let's just look at the markets and talk you through a bit about this week. Very interesting things going on. So I'm not going to talk you through every single trade we've had. As I say, we've had a real mixed bag of winners and losers. When we started this signal, it almost seemed like everything that we took was a winning trade, and I was saying to people, this isn't the norm, and it swings like that, the market. So at the moment we've seen these huge drawn out trends, so we're at some interesting levels. So if we look at, let's look at euro dollar and work our way down. So euro dollar, we've said that we are bullish on euro dollar. Dollar is weakening. We're getting the Fed interest rates, but especially after the data that's come out today, the rate at which they're going to increase these rates, and whether they're going to do another increase this year, I think it's something like been taken down to another 50% now, likelihood of another rate this year. So the price expectation was already in. So we've got the price of the dollar having interest rate rises already priced in, and now what have we got? The interest rate rises not taking place as quickly as what they were planned to be, and we've got the euro, which is talking about tapering and stuff like that. However, what we've got to bear in mind is that the European central banks always want the euro to be weak, and when the euro starts pushing up to, say, the 115 area, then that's where you're going to really see some sort of comments coming out that to make the euro come back off. So but we're still bullish on euro US dollar. However, we were expecting a bit more of a pullback. It hasn't come through. We've come to this trend line resistance. This is a very shallow gradient trend line, and it's actually punched through that slightly now this week. But you've got generally a resistance zone all the way across these highs here. Now the difference that you can see here quite clearly is that the price action previously just pinged up and then shot back down, and we're pushing up nice and strong here, which would suggest that we are going to smash through these levels at some point. However, through here there are going to be sellers coming in. But we're interesting levels here on euro dollar. We could see the big number, the 115 area, tested in the next week or so. Dollar yen again, interesting. We've got some risk off sentiment. However, the dollars looks really strong. The yen has looked extremely weak. So this could just be a pullback for the trend to continue. I don't know what's going to happen, but on the daily charts, we've obviously had this this move down. So we could look for a continuation of this, potentially then a turnaround for it to then push back up, because the yen does seem weak at the moment because of the yields and stuff like that going on. So that's a reason for that. So interesting levels on those. If we just go to the 4-hour chart, we did have a couple of short. We had a winning and losing trade. We had a trade on this last night, so we was expecting this test. I wanted to see this moving average here as a target. So you'll see it down here, this 500 period moving average. In fact, on the 4-hour chart it's probably clearer, because we wanted to see a touch of this 100 period moving average here. So what actually happened was that overnight we had a short in. Unfortunately, we got pipped out by almost, another one where it was probably like a few pips that we got taken out by. Trying to find it now where it is. Yeah, overnight. So here, so we were going short, ready for this rundown, expecting this to happen. Overnight it had a blip up and it took us out. You can see there literally by a pip or half a pip or something like that on that. So we had two positions in there, unfortunately. which has been a common thing where we've been having trades sort of overnight. So I'm kind of steering away from it now and trying to exit trades before close of business and then maybe re-enter the next morning if the position sets up, which it did in this case. So we had these big run down. We had an exit just before, but then we had the big run down for the main one here, and we actually got out, as you can see there on that dollar yen. But we had other positions as well. So what you find in these markets is a lot of them are interlinked and a lot of them are joined. So risk off sentiment means gold is going to go higher, which we've seen today. So, you know, the shoot up in gold means that you're going to have the strength in the yen means that the Nikkei 225 for the Nikkei 225 is going to come off, which it did, and you can see we got some nice exits on some of these positions here. 27 pips on that first one, 47, 52 pips, etc. So we've had some nice exits, but these markets are absolutely lethal at the moment, and I'll give you an example. We also had a short on pound yen. Okay, so what we done is we closed off the first position at 53 pips there, and then we run down a bit more and we closed off our second half of the final position. So effectively we was left with a quarter of a position on, with the potential that it could bounce up and then roll back over. The setup was based on the 2-hour chart, which you can see here. At this point we'd started to roll over, we got in up here somewhere, started to roll over, have a nice move down, and I was expecting, you know, us to get down to these previous lows was our main target. This was a lovely target. We've got a previous low here which ties in with a key moving average. Now look what the market's done, a complete V-shaped reversal. Now these are just lethal because how many traders, when this was coming off, and look, it was a strong close on this hour bar, so it wasn't like it was a, you know, a pen bar or anything like that. It was a really strong close. How many traders would have got in there? Now, lucky for us, and this is one of the reasons why at the moment I'm very reluctant to leave trades to run, and we are taking a lot of part profits because this is a common thing we're seeing. Not only are we seeing these spikes up to get stops, we're also seeing these run down and big reversals. So unfortunately for us, I mean, it took out. We did move the stop up slightly because originally I was above these highs, and then I thought, well, it's probably coming up just to take out all the stops above here for it then to continue the rollover. It hasn't done. The pound's been really strong, and we'll go on to cable in a minute and have a look at what level that's at, because that's at a key level. But that's how dangerous these markets are at the moment. You could be getting short here, short here, short here, and even be in a position adding into it for then reverse and just take you out. So be careful. They're quite volatile in a way at the moment, but we're seeing these big sort of trends that just keep going at the moment as well. So lucky for us, we was in plenty of profit on that, because as I say, we took 53 pips on half the position, 69 on a quarter, and then lost 47 on another quarter. So wasn't majorly bad, but as I say, today could have been a lot better if that had continued for us. We just talked about cable, looking at these levels for cable. So pound dollar, we're nearly at 131, massive levels here, massive levels. Now what is interesting on this, so we've taken out, you know, these highs here, we've come up here, we've retested, we've come up here. So, you know, it's hard to say what's going to happen, to be honest. Again, similar to euro, I'm probably bullish on pound, dollar, but that's no way would I be taking a long position up here at 131. So we need a pullback. Potentially you could be looking at a short position at 131. Wouldn't be a bad place to be selling for, you know, a pullback of some of these levels. We did have this negative momentum coming in on the daily chart. It's totally been unwound. So what we'd need to see now to get short is this sort of rolling back over to come back down before then another run up. But interesting level. So 131 almost hit. Got very close. So how far off were we? You know, 10 under 10 pips away. So interesting level. We've got an interesting level on Aussie dollar as well. Started to come off a bit now, which I expect, to be honest. And as I was tempted to get short, these are good levels to be getting short at. I do think we're going to break through these levels, but what is interesting on here actually is a bit of a trend channel going on. So from these lows to here, and we did have a long position around here. Unfortunately, we took our exit slightly early. So the difficult thing for me at the moment is that I haven't got the equity in the account to really be able to run these swing trades like I'd like. So I'm having to take a lot of small profits while I build this account up. Once I've built it up significantly, then what I'll be able to do, I'll be in a more comfortable position to be able to really start running some of these swing trades. I know a couple of guys in the signal room, you know, said to me, look, what's your overall view? Do you think it's going to go higher? I said yes, and I know some of them have now got out today, but interesting because it's pretty much a trend channel on there. So if we redraw this line here, so that sort of angle there, just move that across. So yeah, we could see a pullback now, and potentially shallower retracements, and not necessarily back down to this trend channel for it to then push up again. But it's taken out these highs over here. It has taken out the highs over here, and it's not quite taken out this high over here, but it's an interesting level then to start seeing some more downside. I don't know where it could retrace to. It could come shallow retracement, push up. It could come right down to here and push up. I don't know. We'll have to see what price action says. But I wouldn't, again, similar to the, I wouldn't be buying up here. I'm looking to, you know, now for a reversal in the trend for us to then be looking for short positions for a period. Similar sort of picture on the Aussie New Zealand dollar as well. Again, we had a long position on this. It's hit some great levels now. If we look at these daily, it could push up another 30 or 40 pips into some of these moving averages. 30 pips away, but you look at the monthly, it's on the 21 period moving average on the monthly. On the weekly, it's pushing up again into this. So again, I think bearing in mind that this made a higher high from here, this is the weekly charts, we've now made a higher low here. I am bullish on the Aussie New Zealand dollar. Again, I wouldn't be getting in long here, but overall picture, potentially we're going to break through now and see some further upside in these, you know, potentially coming up to these highs up here. So yeah, some interesting levels. So the stock markets have been lethal as well, because the US stock market just continue this grind higher, which is quite impressive really. But we've got this trend channel, we are on it. Look at this price action, and it just crawled along it here. We could have another period of that, I don't know. We've had a really strong week this week, as you can see. Just looking at what was going on in the charts, we've seen these massive spike low. So we had a short position in up here. We had two entries, and we closed out one for about 100 pips. It shot back up, had a bounce up, and what I was looking for is on the daily charts. Again, a really nice target, because we had, at the time we was over here, we had this 50 period moving average tying in with this low over here. So if I draw a line across, we had this low over here, and I was really expecting it to roll over. We had the negative momentum on the daily charts, we had the stochastics pointing down, everything was lined up for this to then roll back over, and it just never came through. We had this big move down, and I thought this was it. We got out one position, took 100 pips out of it, then we re-entered it because it then shot back up, and I thought, well, it's now going to roll over again, and unfortunately that got stopped out for 100 pips, and we've still got one position left in with a slightly higher stop, but it's made a new high now. So you know, we have had the MACD cross, we've got negative, the first signs of negative momentum on the 4 hour, but the daily really looks bullish again. So we could push higher, we could clip this 21600 level before it then rolls back over. I don't know, I don't really know what's going to happen with that at the moment. We have to wait and see. And that's about it really. I hope that gives everyone an overview. We're on track for the week, we're on track for the signal. Just one thing I want to point out with the signal: first of all, don't expect more than 1% a week or 5% a month. Don't come in thinking you're going to get rich overnight. And also there's an element where you need to manage your own trades. At certain times of the day, Thursday we didn't take it, or we took one trade on Thursday, and today's been really busy, and you have sessions, especially when news comes out, where you must have almost 20 messages that came out today, whereas yesterday we had 1 or 2. So there's an element where certain people aren't going to be able to follow that, and some people, you can come and join up for a free trial and see if it's for you, but I'd rather people not join up for a free trial if it's not going to be suitable for them, because it's kind of a waste of time in a way. Because what you've got to do is this: if you have the time to trade, interesting trend line across that actually, if you've got time to trade and manage your positions, then it's fine, if you've got that time. But if you've got a job where you're going to be in meetings, or you can't get to your phone and stuff like that, then you need to think to yourself, I'm not going to take certain trades. So what I do now is I put the time frame that I've taken the trade on the signal. Now if you're not able to get to your phone, you're not going to be able to manage your position, do not take a trade on a chart that's less than 4 hours. If it's 4 hours above, at the end of the day, the frequency at which things are going to happen with that trade are going to be a lot less. Whereas charts where we're talking 15-minute charts or 30-minute charts, things are going to be happening where we're taking profits, moving stop losses, adding back in, exiting parts of position, stuff like that. So it might not be suitable for everyone, but there is a mixture of sort of longer term trades as well. So as I say, pick and choose, cherry pick what trades you're going to take and what you're not, if you're not able to manage your trades all the time. Or if it's a certain day where you're busy, then avoid taking a trade and just sit out that particular day. Because the worst thing you could do, for example, was be in that pound yen trade, and where I was saying take profits over here, you not getting to your phone, then what's happened, you've been stopped out. So you just bear that in mind. Be realistic with your expectations with regards to the signal, and there's an element where you need to manage it yourself. If we've entered a trade and we've got in and it's in profit, and you think, well, I want to take profits here, then take profits, exit trades. You've got to learn how to trade as well, which means you're going to learn how to take profits yourself. Every move that I make, I message out, but as I say, it might not be possible for people to actually follow all of those moves. Hope that helps. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next week.